Hello goldfish, squids and other lovely sea creatures, I'm Octopus and today we are back with another review of a ship. Today we are gonna talk about the Georgia, the tier 9 coal ship available at tier 9 for the US BB branch. But first thing first guys, as always, remember to subscribe to the channel if you want to support me and if you want to help me grow into this YouTube adventure. Also leave a thumbs up and comment down below if you have any particular question or any doubt, and I will happily answer you. So the Georgia is a very peculiar battleship. It's available for coal for exactly 228,000 coal if you do not use any coupon. Georgia has a very unique set of features, let's say. First thing first, as you can see, it's an American battleship with speed boost, the consumable that is usually available on the French battleships, and it is also a 15% speed boost consumable instead of the usual 8%. So with speed flag and the speed boost active, you can reach almost 40 knots of speed, which is extremely good for a battleship, as you can imagine. The main gun reload is 26 seconds. You have only three turrets, only three twin turrets of 457 millimeters. But as I just said, the base reload is 26 seconds, which is very good. You can cut it down to 22.9 seconds with the reload upgrade in the last slot, as I'm running in this game that you are seeing. You also have powerful secondaries. If you build for secondaries, they can reach 11.3 kilometers of range and 3.8 seconds of reload. And with this build you can cut this even further, but I don't think it is actually much more beneficial to cut it down even more. We are gonna talk about the Georgia build at the end of the video, as always. This is basically a Massachusetts level of secondaries, just to give you an idea. Also, your main range is 20 kilometers, which is okay. It is not exceptionally good, but it is okay. The dispersion of the guns, in my experience, can be quite trolly, honestly, but on paper it should be very good. So dispersion should be, I mean, more than decent, but take it with a little bit of a grain of salt. I mean, I'm talking because I know the ship. I play the ship quite a lot in randoms, and sometimes the dispersion is really trash. Nevertheless, she is a decent brawler, also because as you can see, I mean, she has access to the Massachusetts heals, which are fast reloading heals. They reload in 40 seconds by default. If you add on top of this the November Foxtrot flag, if I'm not mistaken, and the Jack of all trades captain skill, you can cut this for 36 seconds, which is extremely good and extremely valuable when you are brawling and you have to sustain a lot of damage and a lot of incoming fire. Your armor is decent, in the sense that you have waterline citadel, which usually at least prevents enemies from actually citadeling you that easy at close range, at least. Even if there are, if you are turning and listing, there is the actual possibility that they can actually citadel you from close range as well. The alpha, the AP alpha, is quite good. It is the second AP alpha according to Wargaming Wiki. The second alpha on battleships, just lower than Shikishima one. It's around 15 point something K. I'm not exactly sure about the exact value. We're gonna check this import. Concealment is decent. You can reach out a quite good 13.3 kilometers of concealment. I mean, it is not super great, but it is better than other ships. So concealment is one of the good selling points of Georgia. As you can see here, there is this synop that is giving us complete full flat broadside. Okay, she's even gonna beach there. We aim for her citadel, but six pens and no citadels for some reasons. Okay, I don't exactly know how that happened, but whatever. Georgia penetration is good, but sometimes RNG and dispersion and whatever trolls me. Like she likes to troll me a lot. I'm not exactly sure why, but it is what it is. AA is more than decent. Of course, when it is not needed, it's a citadel, but whatever. This game, we know that this game likes to troll. So yeah, Georgia is a valid ship in my opinion. I don't particularly like ships that have such a little amount of guns usually, but Georgia can be quite effective, especially if you are in close range fights in a 1v1 with the other battleships. She can be quite powerful, I have to say, and I played Georgia in the recent ranked sprint season, the tier 9 one, and she turned out to be extremely good as a brawling battleship. I will show you a little abstract of my rank sprint season at the end of this random battle, because just to tell you how good Georgia can be in a 1v1, or I mean almost 1v1 situation, because it's extremely powerful if played correctly, of course. Speaking of this particular battle, there's nothing really special to say. Here we are even facing a failed division. You might have noticed the little chat exchange that I had with a couple of the members of the enemy division. They brought a double tier 6 with the tier 7 and they ended up in tier 9 matchmaking, and they were ranting about being in a tier 9 matchmaking, but the fail is there because you don't bring tier 6 ships into tier 7 matchmaking that can lead you into against tier 9s. Just don't do this. There are still a lot of people that actually fail to recognize how the actual matchmaking works, but whatever. As you just saw on the Drake, the penetration at long range is very good, so don't actually fear to shoot targets at long range. If the dispersion favors you, you can absolutely be effective against cruisers especially, but even against battleships. As you can see, our secondaries are doing their job. They are starting fires and they are hitting this bomber. This bomber is playing super safe. She's playing nose in, using only 50% of her firepower, which is not exactly recommended in my opinion, but whatever. This match seems to be quite settled in the sense that there is nothing that we can actually we don't fear to be actually overrun on any flank yet, at least. Maybe the Georgia and the Soyuz on our left flank are gonna kill our Jean Bart on our left flank, and this might be an issue, but for now we are more than I mean, this was 10k taken from the enemy Soyuz, I guess, and this is not cool, of course. But as I said, if we can angle a little bit towards the left flank ships, we should be kind of fine. In the meantime, we unleash our secondaries on this bomber because she cannot shoot us because she's behind the island, and we are constantly landing shells and secondaries, and we are eventually starting fires. This is why I spec'd out of IFHE on the Georgia, because since the IFHE rework happened and the armor rework happened, American secondaries have been quite power crept, in the sense that you don't pen anymore 27mm of armor with IFHE, you pen up to 26, which is of course a big downside when you're facing ships that for the vast majority are coated into at least 27mm of armor. In this sense, speaking IFHE on Georgia is not valuable anymore, in my opinion. Same deal with the Ohio. On Massachusetts, on the other hand, when it happens to you to face tier 7 even some tier 8 cruisers, it is still viable, in my opinion at least, to have IFHE, but on Georgia I expect out of IFHE. I'm actually running a special captain on Georgia. I think it's George Doe that has the enhanced expert loader skill, because yeah, on Georgia you will fight destroyers sometimes eventually because you want to push caps and be aggressive. So having an enhanced expert loader, it is absolutely recommended because you can switch from AP to HE in quarter of the time. It is literally 5 seconds switching time on Georgia, or 5 or 6, something like this. It is amazingly good, and it is really handy. As you can see, we lost a couple of ships here and there, but the enemy is also under a lot of pressure. They're gonna lose their Vaser, that is gonna be killed by the other Georgia and their Gross. On the left flank, there's only another Georgia left. Our Neptune is running away, but still, I think we can actually still win this easy. We are using our speed boost in this specific situation to actually turn around the island and try to get the broadside of this Iowa that we see here. She fires way too early. She hits the island, so very early shot. We aim for his citadel, but once again, only one hit out of 4 shells at 2.5 kilometers. As I said, these guns, in my personal experience, are very inconsistent. I hear a lot of people that actually have amazing salvos and amazing experience with Georgia. In randoms, I honestly have to say that I didn't have any of this amazing experience. Yes, the damage is quite good on average, but as you can see, the RNG is absolutely not with me. I don't exactly understand why and how that happened. We take a 11k salvo from the enemy Alaska, but here we are also dodging some Neptune torpedoes in a very smart way. He was apologizing in the in-game chat for his torpedo salvo, but we reply with easy dodge, as you can see. Here there is this Georgia. We are going to target Georgia with secondaries. As you can see, I'm running manual secondaries because I find secondaries to be much more accurate in this sense, but American BBs do not actually need that much this skill. I mean, they don't have German dispersion on the secondaries, so they can get still out with I mean, they can be effective even without speccing into this skill, but I still prefer to actually have this skill because I find secondaries to be more effective. Our Neptune is lucky in the sense that he is lucky to be still alive. We are gonna overlap our position with his, so maybe we can kind of physically cover him in this sense. Their Alaska is a decent player in the sense that he knows how to aim, even if he's a little. I mean, we are gonna see what he's gonna do at the end of this battle. So please don't play Alaska like this player is, for many reasons that I'm about to explain. Here we are gonna finish the Georgia, okay, well, and then there is this full HP Alaska, and what you see him doing here is just running away. I mean, the battle is over, okay, it's 7 against 1. Alaska is a very powerful cruiser at tier 9, but there's absolutely no way that he's gonna win this. And what he does, instead of just turning around and just end the battle, he's just sailing to the map border. Plus, we are gonna see that he will also abuse the map border to actually gain extra advantage of the listing that the ship and the awkward way that the ship behaves when you hit the map border. So please don't abuse map borders if you can. It is a very, very dumb and stupid thing to actually do. And I mean, it can happen to actually bump into the border even if you are. I mean, it happens to everyone to actually bump into the border. But one thing is actually bumping into the border, and another thing is actually abusing the border to gain some unfair extra advantage from this in-game feature. Let's call it feature, that it is really, really stupid. Can I speed up? Yeah, I'm gonna speed up this replay because it is completely useless to actually see this thing As you can see, planes are spotting their Alaska. She's still going to the map border. We angle towards his salvos. And now it is the moment when he actually bumps into the border. He seems that he's leaving the border actually. Here is the high caliber achievement. But he's gonna turn again into the border once again. So please don't do this. Don't be these kind of players that go to the side of the map and they are trying to abuse the border like this guy is doing now, as you can see, to gain some extra advantage, because it is kind of difficult to actually predict what you are doing, and you are gaining some extra advantage in a very unfair way. As you can see, he is able to deal decent amount of damage to us. He now leaves the border finally, but still I don't like this kind of playstyle. Please don't be that guy. And at the end of this battle, we're gonna see an upstart of my stream with the rank sprint battle. So I'm gonna flank, let's say, around B. I hope my possession this you use. Guys, hold A, please. Here, I will go towards B. Okay, so let's see. This guy we can easily drive by a Musashi if we can get close enough. This guy might be an issue, and the enemy George as well can be an issue. Drive-by were the best thing for me in this rank. I always like to do drive-bys. It is an amazing thing. And not a lot of people actually know how to do that, because they are not used to close range fights. And I love close range fights. I love close range fights, but a lot of people are just used to snipe from the back, from the 20 plus kilometers. So this is why this is why you can actually surprise and catch a lot of people off guard when you are trying to do drive-bys, because they don't know how to deal with it. They don't preemptively turn their turrets. They don't know how to actually mitigate the damage, the return fire. Oh, they are going all to the same spot. We can easily now do this and close the distance with them, because there's this island between us and them. So I'm gonna use that island to my own advantage. In the meantime, we can absolutely shoot these guys. $12K. Well, you know what? We can even stop here and crossfire the gross. Absolutely. Between us, the Musashi, and the Soyuz that it is in the front. Absolutely. She's shooting HE. Is that a joke? No way you're gonna win that fight there, Gross. Especially shooting HE, I'm just saying. No fucking way. Oh, you repaired. I see. Smart choice. We can stay here and let our secondaries do the job for us. Oh, now he goes for AP. Why? I thought we were friends, Dergros. I thought we were close friends. Bye. He has a permafire going on. And he's dead. Goodbye. Okay. It's YOLO time, guys. Hey Centenario, hello. Hi Otto, how it goes? Pretty good, I would say. Pretty well. Pretty well, I would say. This is the power of flanking, guys. You have a ship on the flank, two holding the center, and you win. Usually. So what now, Georgia guy? You're gonna push the Musashi and the Georgia forward. Like this, so they have to expose themselves. Booty pens. So we're gonna ram the Georgia and possibly Citadel to shoot the Musashi here. This is the plan. There we go. She escaped. There we go. Rank 5. Let's go. So these are the final results of the random battle that we previously fought. 224k damage, 2 citadels, 1 kill only, dreadnought and high caliber, so nothing really impressive. 306 secondary hits. This is a very decent value, but yeah, nothing really special to say about this battle. 2.2k base experience. Well done to our Neptune as well with 2.1. Very well done to him. As you can see, the damage distribution, we hit a lot of battleships, but you are very good also at dealing against cruisers. You can overpen broadsiding light cruisers from time to time, especially at close range, but if they're angled, you can overmatch the 30 millimeters of armor with your 4.57s. So absolutely, you are very good at dealing with cruisers. As you can see, the distribution of the damage, 142k came from our main batteries, but a 40k damage came from our raw secondary damage, plus 41k scored by our fires. So all in all, an 81k, 82 exactly, 82k damage came from our secondaries. So this is a very good addition. It makes a good game in Georgia with 142k damage. It makes it into a very good game at 224k damage, which is very, very different. So secondaries are a very, very powerful tool and a good addition to Georgia for randoms especially. Credit-wise, as you can see, I had some modifiers active, but Georgia is a decent credit and XP farmer. It is nothing really like Musashi or Missouri, but Georgia can give you some kind of income in this sense. So this is our Georgia in the port. Let's start with the equipment. Consumables, you don't get to choose much. I personally don't like the sporting aircraft on Georgia because I usually fight in medium to close range fights, even if Georgia is meant to be a medium to long range fighter, but I love to play Georgia in these kind of situations, so I value the fighter to be more useful than the sport. I mean, less useless than the sporting aircraft. Let's put it this way. This is the Massachusetts Repair Party consumable that we were talking about previously. As you can see, reload time 40 seconds. You can cut it down to 38 with this flag, and if you really want, you can cut it down to 36 seconds with the Jack of all trades captain skill. This is the enhanced speed boost, as you can, engine boost, which is 15% instead of the normal 8%, as we just said previously. The AP Alpha that I was talking about is 15.75k. okay, so one citadel from the Georgia deals this amount of damage, which is quite impressive at tier 9. So upgrades, here I go for for secondaries and AA survival, because as I said, I like to play Georgia in close range fights, and I usually come under a lot of HE spam, and also even AP can destroy your secondaries and your AA. So I like to enhance the survivability of this skill or this tool that we have. If you don't feel like playing Georgia with secondaries, you can go for main armament modification 1. Here, if you have it, go for engine boost modification 1 for 40% more action time of your engine boost consumable. Absolutely recommended. If you don't have this called upgrade, go for more tankiness. Absolutely. Here I go for secondaries. If you really want, Georgia Turret Traverse is decent, decent, not trash, let's say. 40.2 seconds with the enhanced expert marksman, but with this upgrade here that nerfs your turret traverse. So if you don't want to go for secondaries, you can absolutely go for turret rotation. Absolutely, why not? You can even go for more range. Absolutely, you can go for this one and reach out a 23.2 kilometers of range, which is honestly more than what you need in my opinion, but if you want, you can absolutely try it. I will keep my secondaries for now. Maybe I will change my build in the future, who knows. Here I go for more tankiness. As I said, I usually come a lot under a lot of HE spam and carriers, planes, whatever, and I like to have more tankiness on my Georgia. If you don't want this, you can absolutely go for propulsion or steering gears. Steering gears on American BBs, it is not their best feature usually. So absolutely, you can either go for propulsion or steering gears, depending on your playstyle. Here I go for concealment. Nothing is more valuable than concealment on Georgia, absolutely. And finally, I go for better DPM. There is the option to go for to use the special American BB upgrade in this sense, to have better dispersion on the guns. Honestly, I think this might be valuable, but considering that you still have only 6 guns, I find that having more DPM is the best way to make up for your trolley dispersion that sometimes it can happen. I don't go for this one to have another boost on your secondaries. I mean, if you really want to go for the full meme build, you can try this out, but having 3.8 seconds of reload on your secondaries, as you can see here, it is more than enough. You don't need to go for this upgrade here and get down to 3. I mean, 3 is better than 3.8, absolutely, but having 26 seconds of reload on your main guns instead of 22.9, it is much more of a downside in my opinion. So gaining 3.1 seconds on reload on your main guns is more valuable than gaining 0.8 seconds of reload on your secondaries, okay? Because you're gonna constantly use your main guns. On the other hand, you're not gonna use all the time your secondaries, because not all the time you're gonna have targets in your secondary range. Simple as that. Captain wise, I use a special captain. I just said George though. If you have Halsey, use Halsey. It is a good captain as well for BBs. If you don't have a special captain, you can absolutely use this build even with a special normal captain. The build that I'm using on Georgia is priority target, expert marksman, superintendent, AFT, manual for secondaries, fire prevention, and finally expert loader. Now there are a lot of different things that you can spec. For example, I would recommend to actually spec out of manuals for secondaries on average and go for adrenaline rush and jack of all trades with those 4 points, because absolutely American secondary dispersion is already quite good, so you don't benefit that much from this skill. I do value this skill to be viable, but I know that a lot of players don't actually use this skill on American BBs, so, and they are more than effective in their with their performances. So if you want, you can spec out of this, as I said, and spec adrenaline rush and jack of all trades or whatever else you want. Maybe even concealment might be also viable, absolutely. Because with this build that I'm running, my concealment is 14.8, which is not good at all. So if you want to switch these 4 points for concealment expert, it is more than a good move. I still find Georgia to be effective with this set of skills, but as I said, you can make up your mind on which specific set of skill is best for you. Flags, standard for BBs, reduction in fire duration, better heal, more speed, faster reload of consumables, secondaries, and then I mix in some AA flags because Georgia AA is quite decent, as we just said. 5.8 kilometers of range is okay, but the DPA, the continuous damage, is actually quite good. It is not gonna stop any tier 10 carriers, but from tier 8 carriers you can defend yourself pretty well. You can also mix in fire flags to enhance your secondaries fire chance. You can go up to 6% without demolition expert. If you take demolition expert, you can reach an 8% firing chance, which is not to be underestimated with your secondaries. And I also go for the ramming flag because usually with Georgia you can end up in close range fights, and sometimes people are gonna ram you because they don't know how to deal with you at close range. So having this might save you sometimes. Sometimes it might not, but it was the set of skills that I was running in the rank sprint season. So when rams are about to happen, so we might spec even out of this for randoms and take the fire flags instead. A quick look at the Georgia armor. Let's see. We are quoted in 32 millimeters on the nose, 38 on the deck and on the side, as you can see here. But the gimmick of the Georgia is to have an actual waterline citadel, as you can see here. You have no turtleback, so you are not foolproof. I mean, you can get citadel absolutely in Georgia, especially if you are listing at close range with your good speed. Your ship lists, you can expose a little bit of your citadel and you can get almost wrecked by enemy BBs, even at close range. From long range, some plunging fire might catch your citadel, and you can suffer from getting citadel from long range. So always keep your angles when you are sailing in your Georgia, but other than that, you have a quite decent tankiness. So also the turrets are quite tanky as well. So absolutely Georgia is a decent ship. Do I think the Georgia is worth the call price? I think it is, because she can be a quite fun ship to play from time to time. She can also be a quite frustrating ship to play, because when the dispersion is not favoring you, she can let you down pretty bad. But Georgia is absolutely a recommended ship to have in your port if you like this different playstyle, kind of different playstyle than the usual silver battleships from the US line. Do I think Georgia is overpowered? Absolutely not. She is in a good spot in my opinion. She has some weaknesses, she has some strengths. So absolutely, I mean, she's a quite powerful ship, but she's not a brain dead ship. So absolutely, Georgia has my recommendation, and I think Georgia is a fun addition to the game as well. So, guys, this was my Georgia commentary. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave a thumbs up and a comment down below if you have some specific questions. Leave a subscription to the channel if you want to help me out growing on YouTube. I will leave you in the description of the video my links to my Discord and my Twitch channel, where I stream on a daily basis usually. So if you want to hop in and say hello, you're more than welcome, as always. Guys, thank you for watching, and I will catch you next time.